play the Agent and the Inkmoth, I
Right.
would think. And we're going to get to see this one play out. It's Brad and Jeff Sirkis. He's on Elves, and they're a game apiece going to game 3. And you're a little more experienced with the Infect deck. How do you feel about this matchup?
I'm not sure I'm experienced with the
at all?
Infect deck
Okay.
at all. I played against it once. That's it. No, you are right. Glistener Elf feels like the card that's like, well, you're probably going to need a Berserk for that, right?
Yeah, I can't imagine that Elves won't have a blocker. Running down rear on the board, Brad, over on the left, you see he has all the creatures in his deck, a Glistener Elf, a Blighted Agent, and an Inkmoth Nexus, but he's only managed to put 1 point of poison onto Jeff. On Jeff's side, he has 2 lands, a Birchler Rangers, and you saw both a Gaia's Cradle and a Green Sun Zenith in his hand, but not too much of a board presence as of yet.
Yeah, I mean, this feels like Jeff took at least 1 mulligan this game.
Well, if you look at the number of cards, he's got 3 in hand. He only has 8 cards, counting his graveyard, battlefield, and hand.
Yeah, but the fetch replaces itself, so he has 7.
So he has 7 cards, and we're not on turn 1.
Exactly.
So yeah, Jeff was down. I imagine it's down to 5. So we see a swing there by Blighted Agent. It trades with Birchler Rangers. That to me seems like normally Brad would never want to make that kind of trade, but because his opponent's on 5, he saw an opportunity and is going for it.
Yeah, I mean, again, Elves is kind of like High Tide, where it's like this resource-based combo deck where maybe the individual pieces are not that important, but if you get enough things going on, then maybe something will happen. So as long as you keep his resources low, and Brad knows that his Glistener Elf is not doing much for him, right? So he's willing to trade that away for basically anything. So like any elf that Jeff has in play is extra damage from Crater of Behemoth, it's extra mana from Gaia's Cradle, it's an extra elf to tap to Heritage Druid. Like there's a lot of stuff going on. So the Birchler Ranger as a whole might not matter, but it means that Jeff is pretty far off from killing Brad if he has to trade that away.
I'm actually wondering, and figure this out with me, whether Jeff's supposed to make that creature trade.
I'm not sure. I mean, if he thinks that Brad has the combo kill, he's kind of sunk anyway, right? Because he has the Blighted Agent.
Right, he has, if Brad has the combo kill, he's got so many creatures that
yes.
maybe you have to worry about what you're doing and not what Brad's doing. Like, you need to make your Gaia's Cradle be really good, right?
Yeah.
And we see Jeff end step fetched for Dryad Arbor there, and he paid a huge price for it. Brad had a Submerge in hand for the Dryad Arbor.
I've seen, Submerge your Tarmogoyf in response to you cracking a fetch land, and then you have to shuffle away your Tarmogoyf. But other than that, I think Submerge on Dryad Arbor is probably the most brutal Submerge that you can do.
Like, not only does Jeff not get a new card, but he has to play a land that doesn't tap for mana this turn. And we see Jeff, he's going to play Dryad Arbor, and he's going to Green Sun for 0. That's another Dryad Arbor.
Right.
I actually like this line a lot because so he gets another Dryad Arbor. Next time he plays Gaia's Cradle, that is potentially 7 mana, which means like Jeff doesn't have any more cards in his hand, but if he draws the right card on this turn, 7 mana is exactly what he'll need. Like maybe he just like starts chaining some Elvish Visionaries.
Sure.
Or like a lot of mana seems like the recipe for him getting out of this situation.
Yeah, I mean, Cradle's still only 5 mana, right?
Well, if he taps all the other lands then, right? He played his land for turn. That was Dryad Arbor. He played another. Next turn, his Cradle will tap
for 2. And
okay,
then
so you're right,
for
2.
3.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
He'll have 5 total, but he's getting up there.
Yeah, you're right, not 7. I was counting all the lands. Well, maybe they were all Dryad Arbors. That's not how it works.
Cradle taps for 1 for each land you have. That'd be a good card.
Well, I mean, we already have one for artifacts, one for enchantments, and one for creatures. We should just have the one that taps for mana equal to the number of lands you control.
I would find some way to play with that card, probably.
Is that more? That's more or less broken than Tolarian Academy? That's probably more. I don't know.
You can play as many 0 mana artifacts as you want. Academy's got to be better, and it's blue.
And it makes blue mana. It's close though.
It is close, which makes you stop and think, right?
Brad just going to swing with 3 1/1s. It's 3 more poison. Jeff goes up to 5. I don't know if Brad has any pump spells, but it doesn't look like he needs one. He has Jeff on a 2-turn clock regardless.
Yeah, and it looked like he has a Force of Will. I'm not sure if he has the blue card or not, but I'm also not sure if he actually needs it.
And here come the Dryad Arbors. Brad taking 2. If you look at Jeff's hand, his remaining card is Craterhoof here.
He does have a Vines, so he could potentially go for it here, and I think you're pretty safe to do that.
Sure. Vines on Inkmoth. Does that work? Yes, it does. Brad Nelson 2-1 defeats Jeff Sirkis and moves up to 5-0 along with Todd.
Brad and Todd, both 5-0 in the tournament with Infect.